I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I'm here with Anastasia Matthews, who's our IFS projectionist and a student at the Department of Cinema Studies, ampersand, Moving Image Arts. We've both decided to take a look into one of the titles that we have that is being offered through the internationalfilmseries.com website. We are talking about Bungalow tonight. Ulrich Köhler was a young German director in his early 30s when he directed his first feature film, which is the one we're talking about, titled Bungalow. The film was released in 2002, and it's about a German soldier who goes AWOL and returns home to a life that proves even more problematic than the one that he left behind. Bungalow, it won seven international film festival awards, and now is being brought back thanks to a new 4K digital restoration that's being made available thanks to our friends over at Grasshopper Film. They're a distributor who will share half of the gate of anything made with the IFS should you decide to take a chance on watching this movie from the website. It's also one of those movies that's a little bit off the beaten path. What caught my attention about this movie was a quote from Ken Eisner, and his quote specifically in Variety said that this movie, quote, resembles 1970s pictures like Five Easy Pieces. Performances are excellent all around with dogma-like naturalism, never pushed to any showy effect. That being said, this is I can see why the reference was made, because they both have soldiers who are kind of going AWOL, and they both go off beaten track, but they're very different animals. And I would say primarily because of the lack of Jack Nicholson, because he's such a magnetic personality in and of his own right. Here you have something very different, and it's actually a little bit more. At first it looks to be a drama that might turn into a love triangle, but really it doesn't adhere to any such formulas. Instead, it takes some surprising angles on the issue of estrangement and ennui. It's got some kind of head-scratching moments, and it has some, if you stick through it all the way, it does some interesting choreography, dance-like moves with, like, where is this going? It was an interesting movie. I'm glad I saw it. And I'm going to toss the ball over to you. Anastasia, what did you think?
I think with this one and then the other one we watched, it for better or for worse, really delved into the individual lives of people. And with watching this, it was kind of cathartic in a way to just start paying attention to somebody else's life and what they're going through. And it took me about 20 minutes to halfway through the film to realize if I even sympathized with the main character or what that looked like. But it was enjoyable to just see somebody else's experience. And it did take some twists and turns. It was not what I was expecting. Even from the moment it started to the next minute, everything was constantly changing, but it constantly kept me engaged and led me to the next moment. And I think it was a fun watch for me. Slower pace, but worth it.
Yeah. Do you speak any other languages other than English?
I have done about 3 semesters of American Sign Language and 3 semesters of Italian. So. Oh wow,
sign language. That's that's what we could. That's something that I think it does a great service, and we're always getting requests by customers at International Film Series who have hearing disabilities. So that's good for me to know. Are you fluent in sign language?
No, not fluent, but I can hold a general conversation, and I took a semester in high school and then 3 semesters in college. So I've done different things, but
I'm going to guess. I don't know any sign language other than the sign language that I've learned as a scuba diver. You know what that means? Is that the same in sign language?
I missed it. Can you try again? I don't know.
That's a dive turkey. That's somebody who doesn't know what they're doing underwater.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
Is that a bull shark?
That means bullshit in scuba diving language.
Okay.
Hey, so I'm going to use this as a bizarre segue. But speaking of what words mean and bullshit, I asked this to Alex, and he had, when I asked him, hey, have you heard about the Boogaloos? They're a far right, anti-government, pro-gun, violent insurrectionists, and he was like, he'd heard of them, and I said, well, did you? My understanding is that they take their name for some reason from the movie Breakin' 2. Electric Boogaloo, which I've never seen that movie, and I've never seen the original. Do you have any insights? Why did they select Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo? How when you're coming up with a name, like why? I'm just trying to figure out if anyone knows the answer to that one. I just don't know.
I did look into this, and I don't have a better answer. I don't know.
Okay. So, you know what?
It's not super collective or codified or anything. It's just, yeah.
I think that I for some reason it seems fitting that we should have two kind of head scratchers to kind of mull over, which is Bungalow and Boogaloos. No relation, just phonetically, there's something going on there. Yeah. Hey, I've got. I wanted to for our next assignment. I'm gonna tease this a little bit, not just for you, but if anyone is actually watching this. I think we should watch something and talk about it, which I have just. It was made in 1999. It might have been released in 2000, and I just came across it, just saw it myself, and it blew me. I thought it was one of the best movies of the decade, and I'll leave it at that. So that's a cliffhanger. So one last head scratcher to kind of be the cherry on the top for this episode. I want to thank you, Anna, for joining me. I hope you enjoy those 106-degree days in La Junta that you've got coming up. May your garden grow. I know you were talking about the flowers that you're growing, but no vegetables. Isn't that the thing right now? Growing some vegetables?
We do have some vegetables, yes.
Oh, you do? What are the vegetables?
So where I've been gardening, it's just tomatoes, peas, and cucumbers, but my father's growing squash, pumpkin, artichokes, grapes. My brother, cousin, father, and I are all making tomates, Greek stuffed grape leaves this Thursday.
Oh, wow.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
No chard? What about chard? Chard.
Not growing chard. We should look into that, though.
Yeah. If you ever grow chard, I'll be a customer. I love chard.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Anna, thanks for joining. We'll talk again next week.
All right. Thank you, Pablo.